Morning, people. How y'all doing today? We got a spaghetti-o moment. This driver bent that curve coming out of his warehouse over here. And what do you know? The trailer dislodged from the tractor. That's what happened. But lucky for him, the trailer didn't come all the way off the tractor frame. I mean, lucky for him. So while the trailer was still on the the tractor's back axle right there, he just stopped and let that landing gear down so he can get himself repositioned up under it. Man, that's not a good way to start the day. Not a good way at all. But for all you new drivers, let that be a reminder. Do your tug test. If you have to go through the cycle 2 or 3 times, do it. Do it. Because that trailer may feel like it's hooked, but you make a curve or a turn or what have you, and you will soon find out you are not hooked. Because that could have been much worse. And what I mean by much worse, that trailer with the landing gear all the way up, you in the process of making a turn, that trailer could have went straight to the ground. I mean straight to the ground. And whether it's loaded or not, that ain't what you want. That ain't what you want at all. That is not what you want. So his day started worse than my day. But either way it goes, still a bad start. But there is an emphasis on bad and worse. That was worse. Trust me, that was worse. So I hope all y'all doing good out there. I hope you guys, what's this? Thursday? Starting pretty good. Mine's isn't. Mine's been running behind ever since Tuesday. Yeah. When I say running behind, I mean running behind. For example, well, it's not an example, it's the actual truth. Go to pick up my load. Wait a minute, let me bag up a hot second. First off, I get my load assignment Monday because I was off this past Monday. So they told me that they had taken my truck to the shop for service. When I seen that, I said, what type of bullshit I'm walking into now? Now, I know some of y'all may say, oh, dude, you shouldn't think like that, man. You don't know it's some bullshit. Hey, look, tell y'all something. For those who don't know. When a company shows you the ability to possess bullshit, and you done been involved in the bullshit before, there's no need to look and think that it's gonna be nothing other than bullshit. And that's what it was, bullshit. They told me that my truck was gonna be done that day and they were gonna pick it up. Alright, so I'm headed to work Tuesday, taking my truck on the yard. Nah, truck's still at the dealer. So at around about 8:03, somewhere like that, I get a text message from my dispatcher telling me that I need to ride with another driver to go get my truck. First bullshit. That is really affecting me at this point. First piece of bullshit. Second piece of bullshit, I get to the truck, and whichever driver drove my truck was my assigned truck. Let me put emphasis on that. I'm a company driver. My assigned truck to the dealer did not sign me out. Yep, you guessed it. The clock just running. So Everything I need to do, everything I have to do, and everything I want to do and try to do to stay on time with this load that I'm currently on is all thrown to the back. That means to pick up the load, that means all of that. So I had to drive over to Mobile, ride over to Mobile, get the truck, come back to Loxley, get the trailer, come back to Axis, go over to Axis, Alabama to get loaded. Then come back to Loxley because I had bad batteries as well. So, one, I don't know why these Einsteins of people did not go ahead and just have them to change the batteries out. Part of my mind says they wanted to get it at a cheaper rate. Well, that could be true. But in the same token of doing that, before I can even leave out the Kenworth dealership, I gotta get Kenworth to give me a jump. Cause the truck is dead. Won't turn over. This bad boy had like, now that I think of it, I wish I would have recorded. This bad boy had like 8.5, 8.7 cranking volts. You're not starting nothing that low as a voltage. So that means I didn't leave the house, well, leave out with the load until around about 8:30 Tuesday night. And I had to be up here in Wisconsin by 10 o'clock this morning. So every night was long nights, every night. Okay, check this out. Now, you would think dispatch will be like, I see his progress, so let me at least check in with him. Or let me just go ahead and contact the broker and get his next appointment moved. Because by the time he get there, he's not going to have time to go ahead and move to go get this next load. Nah, that's too much like right. Too much like right. Now I know somebody's going to say in the comments, and maybe if a dispatcher saw this, a dispatcher would be like, well, you should have contacted the dispatcher. I understand that. But at the same point in time, the dispatcher was made totally aware of all of this the day of. Tuesday, she knew everything that was going on. So, what she should have did was, took a moment, stopped, contact the next load pickup, and be like, hey, look, we need to reset this appointment for my driver because we done had some unforeseen actions to take place, which is going to throw him late for that time that we have set. So we need to reset that appointment and reset his delivery time for that load. Too much like right. That didn't happen. So while I'm at my delivery spot this morning, I said, well, she ain't hit me. So let me go and let her know. Because if I don't and I'm late, or if I don't and I do something illegal, then you know how it comes back always to the driver. Well, you should have did this. You should have did that. You should have. Well, you should have did your fucking part from the get-go. Okay? That's what you should have did. From the get-go, you should have told whatever driver that was moving my truck, well, my assigned truck, make sure that driver signed out so you don't mess up his hours. Okay. But the next thing should have been, hey, while that truck is over in the service, go ahead and change the batteries out in that truck. Okay? Or you could have went the opposite way around that. Before you even moved the truck to take it to service, could have had, if you want to get at the cheaper rate, could have had the people that you wanted to have the batteries changed, to change the batteries out, could have done that the day of. Because although, I don't know about all the other Kenworths, but the Kenworth in Mobile, Alabama, they slow as fish, no, can't say fish grease. They slow as molasses. I mean slow. Slow. Average PM should take, let's just say 4 hours. If you got an 8 o'clock appointment, you're not leaving that bad boy until roughly about 3:30. Never fail. And this Kenworth dealership got like 5 bays, service bays. So I'm not saying one whole full lane of a service bay. I mean it's split. So if you draw a building in a square, and you got service lane, service lane, service lane, service lane, service lane. I think that's 5. Okay. Draw a line through the middle of that square. So they could take 2 trucks in each service bay. So that's 10 trucks. I don't know what be taking them so long. I really don't. And here's all they do is lube and change the oil, change filter. That's all they do. They're not gonna refill any fluids. They ain't gonna do none of that. And I would say inspection. That's it. But they slow as molasses. So we here Thursday in Wisconsin, Green Bay that is. Next load picks up down in Richfield, Wisconsin, which is roughly about somewhere between 95 to like 106 miles away. Well, at a minimum, that's an hour and a half of drive. At a minimum. If you're being safe, at a minimum, that's an hour and a half of drive. Load picks up at 2. It's currently 11 o'clock. And let me show y'all. That's how far I am away before my clock roll over. So to be more specific, check this out. An hour and 38 more minutes is needed to complete my off-duty time for a reset. So, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So at this point, I don't know, a couple things gonna happen. Either the broker gonna be like, okay, well, where you said it? We can work with that. But that's only if the shipper agrees at that time. Only if the shipper agrees with that at the new time. If the shipper doesn't agree, then either A, somehow, some way, the company coming to pick up that load, gotta get their driver there. Legally, of course. Or B, cancel that load out, find something else. It's all to it. No other way around that. So you new drivers, let me tell you this. And some of you drivers that may be like in your 3rd or 4th year, this is what you should do. Whenever you have an instance like I had starting your week, beep, call time out. Whatever that's in front of you right then, handle that. If you've been booked on another load, and you know you have been booked on another load, I can understand when you may say, well, they know it. I'm going to give them a little time. Now, if you're proving a point, you do what I did. But if you're not proving a point, you just go ahead and call timeout. Like, hey, look, take that 15, 20 minutes. It shouldn't take you no longer than 20 minutes, really and true. It shouldn't take you no longer than 20 minutes. To figure out what time you're going to be at your first drop and how long it's going to take you to travel there. How long it's going to take you to travel there and what time you're going to be there. Figure out how much time you need you're going to be off before your hours reset and let them know. So then they can't say you're going to put them in a conundrum. Why you didn't let them know sooner, all that type of stuff. Because here, if we being real about it, the dispatcher already knew the situation from the get-go. Already knew. But that's where people not being proactive and being efficient and being mindful of their responsibilities. That's where that come into play. Big time. And that's why a lot of drivers get mad with dispatch. Because dispatch would take that and turn it on you, the driver. Or they'll be so lackadaisical about it that in the end, they'll still turn it on you. Because I'm willing to bet you what's happening, that upon contacting the broker, dispatch done spent this like it's my fault. Willing to bet you that. Reason why? Because people don't like to take accountability for their own actions. They just don't. And I'll give you a point on that and then I'm going to close out. When I contact dispatch and say, hey, look, my hours all screwed up because someone didn't sign me out and left the clock running. This is what they tell me. Well, that's why we recommend you drivers sign out whenever you come back to the yard and park your truck. All right, fine. So be it. Fine. Check this out though. When you know you're gonna move the truck, you got two choices. Contact that driver and say, hey, look, are you signed out of your Qualcomm? Because we finna move your truck. Or, which is more easier, way quicker, whoever you having to move the truck, tell them, make sure that driver is signed out of that Qualcomm. It's like 2 steps. Really and truly, it's like 2 steps. That's all it is. That's all it is. Make sure that driver signed out, sign yourself in. And depending on what the driver's doing, that's moving that truck, a lot of times they can just go on personal conveyance. You sign in, use your personal conveyance, go back and forth, whatever you need to do. When you come back, when you drop your truck out in this scenario, when you drop the truck out, sign out so nobody's signed on that Qualcomm at all. That's all it is. But that's too much like right. So I'm going to close there because at this point, by like 16 minutes, I know you guys don't like these long videos. I get to talking sometimes, I just can't shut up. But I'm going to wish y'all well while I'm up here in Wisconsin, these 30-degree temperatures. And I must admit, it feels pretty good to be 30 degrees up here now. Got a little snowbank from where the snow done falling early and throughout the week or last week. Roads been looking good. But then again, I'm a driver that don't mind driving to Wisconsin, Minnesota. Don't bother me. Don't bother me at all. Oh, somebody got a dog barking. So you guys be safe. And I'll give y'all an update later on. Deuces.